What's up everyone, 9th Jim here, back with another VGC 2020 Pokemon Sword and Shield competitive video. Today we are going to be talking about Porygon2. This absolute unit is one of the most sought after Pokemon in the DLC Isle of Armor, for good reason. It's an amazing Pokemon, it's super bulky, great stats all around, normal typing, deep dive of move pool that has recovery, as well as Trick Room, support attacks, as well as good offensive attacks. The Pokemon honestly is just an absolute beast and a great addition to the game. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about a VGC doubles moveset, a singles moveset, speed tiers, and damage calcs. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Anything helps. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about it. So, normal typing, pretty solid. Immunity, 1 immunity to ghost and 1 weakness to fighting. Very normal. There's a reason it's called normal. It's the most normal typing, giving us not much to work with, but so much that we don't really need anything else. It's pretty good. We only have to worry about fighting, so that's cool. Anyway, this Pokemon, its stats are amazing. HP 85, 90 defense, and 95 special defense. All of this and Eviolite. Okay, very, very good. I love this Pokemon. I've loved this Pokemon for a long time. It's just so bulky with Eviolite. It's just so hard to deal with. And it's very, very good and a very strong Pokemon. As far as our stats go, offensive, attack at 80 and special attack at 105 makes it an interesting form. You could actually use this as a mixed attacker, which is interesting because of its ability download. That gives it an attack boost if your opponent's defense is lower, or a special attack boost if its special defense is lower. So theoretically, you could run a attacking move, a physical move, and a special move. We're not going to be, but in theory, you could. As far as our special attack, though, it goes to 105, which is actually very solid for this Pokemon. It's essentially Dusclops, as about the same bulk of Dusclops, but it also can attack, which is really cool, doing more damage than just Nightshade, which is really cool. Download is an amazing ability, great stats. The Pokemon is amazing. Also, we didn't touch on its speed tier. It has 60 base speed, which is not a lot, but enough to make it like not super great under Trick Room. But it sets Trick Room, so we min its speed, and it's still not bad under Trick Room. It still outspeeds everything that's bad under Trick Room, so that's cool. Anyway, that's going to be it for our overview. Let's go ahead and talk about the moveset itself. So, ability download, I was talking about how cool this ability is. Essentially just giving it a special attack buff. More than likely, over half the time, most things are running, most bulky Pokemon are being ran bold or relaxed with defense, defense included, us included, but with this exact spread, it's actually pretty cool. In the mirror match, we're at 136 special defense instead of 134 defense, so it's actually lower. Our defense is just barely lower, making it so our opponent will get an attack upgrade, which is pretty cool. Anyway, so Porygon2, wait, yeah, okay. I brain farted there for a second. Yeah, we make our opponent get that attack upgrade, which is really cool. And in the mirror match with Porygon2, a lot of the time you're gonna run into like a Porygon2 v Porygon2, and you're gonna run into that, and you'll have +1 special attack to their +1 attack, and you'll be like, all right, cool. So that works out really well. Anyway, so ability download is pretty cool. Item Eviolite, I don't think there's really any other item you'll want to run. It gives you 50% additional defense and special defense. I mean, there's almost never a time that you don't run Eviolite if you're running an unevolved Pokemon. Maybe like Light Ball Pikachu. That's pretty close to it. Maybe Focus Sash if the Pokemon is like unbelievably unbulky, but you're usually going to be running Eviolite. Even things like Clefairy run Eviolite. Eviolite is broken. It's amazing. One of the best items in the game. Anyway, so let's talk about some moves. So as far as our actual move set goes, for this we are playing Trick Room, Recover, Ally Switch, Tri Attack. Now this is very, very customizable. Trick Room and Recover I think are probably the most mandatory on this set, especially since it's usually used as a Trick Room setter. Recover is great for recovery. Since I talked about how bulky we are, it can make this Pokemon very, very hard to deal with. They'll want to, hit it down a couple of times, and then you'll recover, and it's very good. And after Trick Room is set, it's going to be faster than most Pokemon, so Recover is just amazing. And then we also are running Ally Switch, because I think on Pokemon like this, Ally Switch is just so good. I loved Ally Switch on Dusclops. I love Ally Switch on other Pokemon. It's good on a Trick Room setter. It's good on a Trick Room supportive Pokemon. You know, Ally Switch Recover makes this Pokemon very hard to actually hit and very hard to actually kill, which is very good. And then we ran Tri Attack as our one attack. You can definitely switch this up. It's actually being ran Ice Beam or Thunderbolt most of the time as their attack. Sometimes I'll use it over Ally Switch and have 2 attacks. I like Tri Attack a lot. It's stab. It also gives us a chance to hit a burn, paralyze, or freeze, which is insane. When you hit a freeze, you usually are just like in such a commanding lead. Same with, you know, paralyze or burn, but you know, not being able to choose what it is a little bit of a downside. But Tri Attack is just such a powerful attack in my opinion that I really want to run it on this set. But like I said, you can change it around. And speaking of moves that we can change it around with, it has a lot of really good coverage moves that you can run instead of Tri Attack or Ally Switch, or even Recover if you want to. But like I said, I really like Trick Room and Recover on this Pokemon. So a couple of moves that you can flex in. We have Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Psychic, and Shadow Ball. All are really good coverage, and depending on the team that you're running it on, then maybe you'll want something of those attacks in there instead. I think it also gets a couple of other moves that are kind of cool. I mean, we have a couple of moves like T-Wave and Trick, but I mean, honestly, you know, we're very slow, so we're not going to get very much, you know, power out of those hits, out of those attacks early game, and we're very tauntable, so being able to run a couple of attacks is very good, or like at least one attack, because this Pokemon is like kind of huge taunt bait. Being slow, Trick Room, Recover, Ally Switch, like your opponent doesn't really want this guy to be able to use those moves, so taunt is good against it. Anyway, yeah, so you can change any of those out for Tri Attack, maybe Ally Switch, but I'd probably stick with pretty close to the set that I have provided. Anyway, so yeah, it's pretty good deep move pool, a lot of different coverage. So as far as our EVs go, we are running 252 into HP, 188 into defense, and then 68 plus into special defense, being that Sassy Nature giving us plus special defense and minus speed. The exact amount of defense that I put in there is very good for a few reasons. First off, like I said, the mirror match of Porygon2 v Porygon2, your opponent will download attack instead, which is very good. And then also, the amount of defense we have in here lets us live Life Orb, why can't I say that? Life Orb, Close Combat from an Urshifu. We also live Life Orb, High Jump Kick from Cinderace. There's a lot of good damage calcs that this HP and defense let us live, which is very, very good. And we'll talk about damage calcs more on the damage calc portion, but for now, that's about it for this build. Let's go ahead and talk about some synergetic Pokemon real quick before we move on. So first off, we have Indeedee and Hatterene, one of the most used currently psychic power Pokemon, the very powerful power duo of Trick Room, Psychic, Trick Room Expanding Force, not actually Psychic Expanding Force, but Psychic Surge, Trick Room Expanding Force is a very, very powerful doubles combo, usually led by Indeedee Hatterene, or at least, you know, in the back or on a lot of teams. It's being used a lot right now. And I think Porygon2, a second Trick Room setter, is very good. You can run, you know, Porygon2, maybe Dusclops, maybe Mimikyu, Chandelure, depending on the team that you're running. I think Porygon2 is a great asset on teams like that. So that's why it's listed. Next, we have Alolan Marowak. This pretty much just signifies anything that's good under Trick Room that doesn't need to be on a very, very Trick Room heavy team. Alolan Marowak has very good usages in a couple of other times as well, mostly due to Lightning Rod being able to be really good on a rain team. Also, you know, a fire stab typing, which is really good. It has the Thick Club, which is just amazing. All around, it's just an amazing Pokemon. It works really well under Trick Room, which Porygon2 can provide. So overall, that's the couple of synergies. There are other ones like, you know, anything that works well under Trick Room. And also, Porygon2 can just be a bulky, good Pokemon for almost any team that, like, wants to run this to stop Trick Room or wants to run just a little bit of Trick Room on their team as well, like as a good mode. That's a good way of running it. Anyway, that's going to be it for this slide. Let's go ahead and talk about some speed tiers. So as far as speed tiers, we are pretty comfortable at 58, hindering on the same speed tier as Lapras, Jellicent. There's other Pokemon on the same speed tier, things like Aegislash and even Sylveon. But, you know, those Pokemon are not usually going to be ran hindering at min speed. Maybe Aegislash will be sometimes. Lapras will sometimes. Jellicent will sometimes. Porygon2 almost always will. So, you know, if you're up against a Sylveon, a Lapras, a Jellicent, you'll probably be outspeeding, but sometimes you'll probably be, you know, speed tying, which is unfortunate. Other than that, a couple of Pokemon we do outspeed initially: Clefairy, Mudsdale, Snorlax, Conkeldurr, Rhyperior, Gastron, Ferrothorn, Torkoal, Dusclops, you know, all those Pokemon that are really good under Trick Room from that 20 to 40 range. all of those Pokemon we are initially outspeeding, but once Trick Room is set, then they're going to be outspeeding you. So depending on the matchup, if you're up against a Trick Room team, like something like Indeedee Hatterene, maybe you'll want to keep Trick Room out of play by holding that out with Porygon, expecting them to go for a couple of expanding forces or anything, not drop the Trick Room unless you want to. You get to hold a little bit of power when you have a Trick Room Pokemon up against a Trick Room team, which is very good. A couple of things that do unfortunately outspeed us initially, things like Gothitelle, even at min speed, it's going to be outspeeding us. Conkeldurr usually going to be outspeeding us. Not going to see it at min speed very frequently. Now we might a little bit more with the inclusion of things like Porygon and Expanding Force, making Hatterene, that much better. We might see Conkeldurr being at min speed, since it still outspeeds Hatterene before Trick Room is set, but then afterwards you have tools. I don't really know what I was thinking there. But yeah, it's good. Conkeldurr, you're usually going to be outspeeding once Trick Room is set. It's usually going to be uninvested, but maybe we'll see how it trends. Like maybe hindering is better. Anyway, that's going to be it for our speed tiers. We're not super fast, not super slow. We had a really min speed for low speed Pokemon, which is weird. It's an awkward speed tier, but it's not too bad. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to some damage calcs. So first off, like I was saying, Life Orb, Urshifu, Close Combat into our Eviolite, 188 defense. Porygon2 hits 82.8 to 98.9%, a guaranteed 2-hit KO. This is really good. We don't want to just die to an Urshifu Close Combat. That would suck. But it does bring us into like 98%, so if your opponent double targets, then bye-bye birdie, but, you never know. Anyway, then next we have Conkeldurr Drain Punch into our Porygon2, hitting 46 to 56%, which isn't that bad, especially if we recover on the correct turns. We can make that bad matchup into a not terrible matchup, which is good. And if it uses Close Combat, we still live that as well, hitting 75 to 88%, which is not bad. A guaranteed 2-hit KO from that Conkeldurr is not bad. Next we have Rillaboom Drain Punch into our Eviolite Porygon2, hitting 27 to 32%. That's not bad at all. That's actually so minimal damage. It's fine. Wood Hammer is going to be doing more damage most likely, and maybe even wooden drum, whatever that drum beating. So yeah, we have a good matchup against Rillaboom. It's fine. Next we have Cinderace, High Jump Kick, Life Orb, Libero, Max Invested into our Porygon2. This is the most amount of damage Cinderace can do to our Porygon2, as if it max Knuckles, it'll do less damage for High Jump Kick. So Eviolite Porygon2 hitting 82 to 98% damage. Once again, just barely able to live. That's actually the same as a Close Combat from Urshifu, the High Jump Kick from Libero Cinderace. So looking pretty good, able to live all those attacks, which is very, very good. Next, we'll go ahead and show off a little bit of its damage output. It's very low, and don't expect to be doing a lot of damage with this most of the time, but Tri-Attack can definitely put in some work. Like we see here, a 100% chance to 3-hit KO, a Togekiss, a very defensive Togekiss as well. 236 HP, 12 special defense. This is +1 from download, hitting 33 to 39%, which is actually very solid damage output and definitely good chip damage that you can put in throughout the game with, like a more offensive Pokemon on its side. Is really good. You're usually going to be, using Trick Room, Recover, Ally Switch, and Attack. Like, you're going to be, what's the word? Changing between them. You're going to be using multiple different things with this Pokemon, so its damage output being not bad is actually pretty good. And then here we also wanted to show off into a Indeedee, but without the +1 from special attack from download. So we actually are hitting 25 to 31, which once again, it's not a huge amount of damage, but it's enough to actually, while doing other stuff and being very, very bulky, Porygon2 can actually, be very, very good against a lot of Pokemon and on a lot of teams. And like I was saying, a lot of Pokemon this format are going to be physically defensive over specially defensive, so you're going to get the +1 from Tri-Attack, or +1 from download more frequently, so that's good. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about single spotlight for this Pokemon real quick before I end the video. So first off, we went with ability Trace here, just so you can grab up some really good things in that. You could go with, you could definitely go with download if you want to. This, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty much straight out of Smogon. I don't really know many single spreads off the bat, so we just went with a pretty basic one here. Recover, Ice Beam, Foul Play, Thunder Wave. This would be Toxic if we could use Toxic. We can't get Toxic this gen, which is unfortunate. Of course, running Eviolite still. You can change Trace to download. Definitely test which ones definitely in you know, on Showdown. But yeah, and then we went with 252 HP, 252 defense, bold nature being as bulky as possible physically. We're hitting a huge amount of physical defense, one of the most amounts of physical defense you can probably run in the game right now, actually. So yeah, you can just tell how bulky this Pokemon is. Anyway, that's going to be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then go ahead and like and subscribe and comment, hey, nice vid. It makes my day a little bit brighter, and I hope this video made your day a little bit brighter. Overall, I think Porygon2 is very great, and I'm really excited that it's back in VGC because I really love this Pokemon. In VGC, it's very, very powerful, being insanely bulky and capable of being attacks. It's like Dusclops that can attack. It's very good. Anyway, that's going to be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Follow me on Twitter, join my Discord, play some Pokemon, have a great next 2 months, do all of those things, and goodbye.